why are people going on to YouTube to watch videos about bikes that they don't like just so that they can leave hate comments for the creators? Like, do you have nothing better to do? So we've probably all heard the saying, haters gonna hate. But I must say, I'd never come across that in the biking scene. And I ride a 125, obviously. And if you ride a 125, some people could give you shit for that. And then there's your mates who might want to give you some grief for riding a 125. Or maybe they just don't want you to ride a 125. I know when I first decided to get into bikes, a mate of mine said, don't do your CBT route, mate, just go and do your test and get yourself a 600. And I said, nah, I'd rather do a CBT route, and I really want this YZF R125. And he said, okay, fair enough, fair comments, and that was the end of it. But if you've got a 125, your mates might rip you for it. You know, if you're out on a ride, they might, you know, say to each other, oh, let's not forget, we might have to wait for slow coach on the hills. You know, that's because blokes, we like to rip each other. You know, we like to have a bit of banter. And banter's fine, I'm fine with banter, you know, because it's done in a light-hearted kind of way. And let's be honest, no matter what you ride, if your mates don't like it, they're going to tear you a new one anyway. But again, that's just banter. No wrong with a little bit of banter. And then there's social media. If you're going to get haters hating, it's going to be on social media. Anytime you post anything on social media, or anytime you interact at all on social media, you're potentially opening up yourself for haters. Well, like I say, I'd never really come across any real hate in the biking scene. I did have one comment where the guy had said something like, imagine complaining about a bike not having a clock when the latest 2022 model has a clock. And I don't know, I still to this day don't know whether he was trying to be funny or not, or whether he was just trying to let me know that the latest model has a clock. So I chose to take it as the latter, and I thanked him for letting me know. But as for hate, I was watching a YouTuber the other day, and he was riding an R3, Yamaha R3, and he was talking about having owned this bike for 12 months and the 10,000 miles that he'd put on the clock. You know, decent video, no wrong with it. And then we get to the end of the video and he starts talking about the hate comments that he's received since making videos about this bike. And it kind of caught me by surprise a little bit. Beautiful views up here. There's nothing behind me, no. Lovely views up here. So this guy's talking about these hate comments that he's received on his videos. Kind of did catch me by surprise a little bit. So I had a look at them. So some of these comments that were left on this guy's video then. So let's have a look what we've got here. We've got, bro, I can't take you seriously when you're standing next to an R3. Like, really? Like, this person leaving this comment has chosen to watch this video. Like, you would have known from maybe the thumbnail, maybe the title, maybe the fact that there's a picture of an R3 in the thumbnail. This guy would have known this video was about an R3, and then he's gone and left a hate comment for the creator because this viewer doesn't like the R3. Like, if you don't like that bike, don't watch the video. No one's forcing you to watch it. What else we got? You called the R3 a sports bike. That's a good one. Well, we've already established that the YZF R125 is a sports bike. So why not the R3? It looks beautiful. it's definitely configured as a sports bike and it has more power. So again, someone leaving a comment when they don't actually know what they're talking about there. How can you take this clown seriously about performance when he's showing off a 300cc bike? Same again. You don't like the bike, mate? Don't watch the video. Like, why are people going on to YouTube to watch videos about bikes that they don't like just so that they can leave hate comments for the creators? Like, do you have nothing better to do? And there's a few other funny ones. Why the gay R3 in the background? I don't know what would make the R3 a gay bike. This person's obviously got nothing better to do. Is that R3 supposed to be cool? And there's something on there saying about, what was it now? Something like why you stood next to a girl's bike or something like that. Now, I haven't come across many female bikers. I've not watched many on YouTube. I did watch one. She was in fact, I watched her video because she was talking about earplugs, you know, the pros and cons of earplugs. Now, I'm sure there's a sexist joke in there somewhere about the fact that a woman is talking about earplugs, but let's not go there, yeah? But the funny thing there was that she's talking about earplugs because she rides an R1M. Now, this girl is showing some of these boys how it's done. Ladies, I don't care what you ride. You could ride an R3, you could ride an R1M. I mean, I personally think both of those bikes are absolutely gorgeous. But my point was, these people have gone onto this guy's video to watch a video about a motorbike that they don't like, just so that they can leave hate comments there. Like, if you don't like the R3, go and watch something else, please. Well, it seems to be drying out a little bit. The sun's really out over there. But yeah, it's definitely starting to dry out. And having stopped where I've stopped, I don't know how much of this is going to come through in the camera until I turn my head. It's always a beautiful place to stop, this is. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm just glad that it stopped raining. I would say that the moral to this little story and to this little experience that I had with haters, albeit on someone else's video, I would say this: you may ride a 50cc moped, you may ride a YZF 125 or any other 125 for that matter. Doesn't matter what you're on. You could be on a 250, 300, 600, a honking great 191 horsepower R1. My point is that at some level you've chosen to ride that bike, and therefore you don't have to justify this to anyone. You know, maybe you've chosen to ride that bike, maybe cost was a factor, maybe availability. I know some people have told me that in other countries, as soon as you go above 250, the cost just goes through the roof and they're really hard to get. So availability may have influenced your decision. My point is that to some appreciable degree, the bike that you're riding, you've chosen to ride it, and you don't need to justify your decision to anyone. Ride your bike with pride, my friends, and don't let the haters get to you. Haters are gonna hate. And like I've always said, it's easier to hate than it is to create.